Welcome back. Chukuma Anyanwu, Head of Research at GTI Securities, joins me now on the program to talk about some of the latest earnings at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Chukuma joins me from GTI Securities trading floor in downtown Marina. Good morning, Chukuma.
Good morning, Harriet. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you on the program. So let's talk about two earnings that came into the market yesterday. Let's start with Lafarge, one of, construction and cement giant Lafarge Africa reported quite dismal corporate earnings for the full year 2016. Give us your thoughts on these numbers.
It was a very disappointing number, but it wasn't unexpected from my end. And that's why Lafarge hasn't made my top stock recommendations for a while now. The company is clearly living in the shadows of Dangote. Dangote is clearly establishing itself as a market leader in that segment. And also for the fact that the general economic challenges also affected the company's performance, particularly in the bottom line. We saw pressure from input cost and pressure from funding cost, I think. So, yeah, it was a very, not very good result. But for me, it worries me that the company is not doing a lot to try and, see if it can compete, by some measure with Dangote, because it's a distant second. In terms of market share in the cement business, it's a distant second to Dangote, and I think the company should be looking at exploring opportunities in that space by either expanding a bit more or trying to push its sales more.
But then talk to us how you think investors will most likely be reacting to this particular company on the exchange, even though it's not as heavy as Dangote Cement, like you actually pointed out, but it's still also one of those frequently traded stocks by investors.
Yes, it's one of the companies, of course, that FPIs will be looking at when they come back into the country, because, of course, it's an international company, so all of the trappings of what foreign investors look out for in companies, they have it. It's an international company. They trust their accounting reporting, and of course, it's also a dividend-paying company. So yes, it's not. I just think basically what you see investors do now, because of the fact that we have a largely retail-based investor makeup in the market now, you would see increased sell pressure. But even at that, I think a lot of the sell pressures would have already been captured already, because the company was already pressured in terms of price even before the company's result came out. So I think it's a company that historically trades above 100 naira, and so currently at the current levels where it is, the downside risk is not so much anymore. But me, I am particularly looking at the long-term prospects of the company, and for me, it's not attractive until they do something about the size and the competition from Dangote.
What about for Stanbic IBTC Holdings? The company also reported its full-year results, and the numbers look pretty good. Gross earnings at 156.42 billion naira, and a proposed dividend of about 5 kobo per share.
Well, disappointing dividend if you ask me, but it's understandable considering the fact that it's a bank, and also considering the fact that a lot needs to go back in retained earnings to show up capitalization for a lot of the banks as a result of the fact that there is a spike in provisioning level, and that is not far-fetched. It's something that you can check around from the economic perspective, and you find your solution, your answers to. But that said, I think the bank for me has good long-term prospects. The group has very well diversified income heads from the financial services market, and it tries a lot on financial advisory and corporate finance. So it's a company that has the potential beyond its banking business to be able to key into opportunities in the economy, in the Nigerian economy, as we currently are. Because if you look into the future, in the near distant future, in the near future, you would see that a lot needs to be done in terms of investment in infrastructure, and financial advisory will be key. So I think the company for me has very strong long-term prospects, and it's a company that I want to buy for the long term.
Chukuma Anyanwu, Head of Research at GTI Securities, many thanks for joining us on the program and sharing your perspectives with us.
Thanks for having me.
And that's it on today's edition of Business Morning. Many thanks for staying with us. I'm Harriet Agbenyi. Have a profitable day.